if we got the paternity test results back, if he's not been excluded, that means he is the father, correct? We may be getting ready to shock him. This is a status hearing involving the Honeycutt child. Mr. Albie's with us representing the department. Ms. Talley's with us representing CASA. Mr. Harris is with us representing the child. Ms. Scott, the mother, is with us. The alleged father, Mr. Honeycutt, is not with us, and he's not in.
He is with us. He's right here. He's
All right.
just driving.
All right. All right. A couple of things we need to take up. Anybody that can help me with this. I was going to order paternity testing at the adversary hearing, and for some reason I scratched it out. Have we done that?
Yeah.
We had.
All right. Would y'all quit interrupting me, please? Have we done that?
Yes, Your Honor, we have done that. And
We had the
Mr.
result back?
Honeycutt, we have, and Mr. Honeycutt has been ruled out as the father.
All right. Mr. Honeycutt, then you won't be a part of this case anymore. So we'll be dismissing you today since you're not the biological father. So, all right, Ms. Scott, you did not attend the adversary hearing, so I need to admonish you. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, you have the right to ask whether the court to consider whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney based upon you being indigent. If you qualify for that, you'll be appointed an attorney at no cost to you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you want to ask for an attorney today?
Yes, please.
Have you been given the paperwork to fill out to request a court-appointed attorney?
I thought I was already appointed an attorney with Natalie Archer.
Oh, you're right.
That's what I show, Judge, is
Okay.
Natalie Archer represents mom.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't see that in my notes. And she's in the waiting room. Ms. Scott, do you need time to talk to her before we start the hearing?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me get her in and then I'll put you all in a breakout room.
Thank you.
Ms. Archer, can you hear me?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Scott's with us and she's asked to talk to you before we start the hearing. So I'm going to put y'all in a breakout room.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Scott, you may be asked to join this breakout room or it may just put you in there automatically.
Okay.
All right, we'll see y'all when you come back.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So I show that Michael Honeycutt has not been excluded as the father to the child.
I'm sorry, Leslie, you said he has not?
He has not been excluded. I'll see if I can get the actual document. I need to go through my emails right quick, but I will get it to you.
So if he's
All
not
right,
been,
thank you.
if we got the paternity test results back, if he's not been excluded, that means he is the father, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
I was just
Yeah,
going
let
off
me
what
let me
my St. Francis permanency specialist told me that he thought he had been excluded. I don't remember seeing that, Judge, and I'll give him just a minute while we're waiting. I'll look it up.
Okay. We may be getting ready to shock him.
And Judge, I just forwarded you to the email I got showing that he is not excluded.
Okay, let me pull that up.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll come encrypted or not, but it came from, I think, Terry Chavez in Lubbock.
I got a DNA test result that says he's 99.999998 probability of paternity.
Okay, all right. Well, when he comes back with
And
mom, we'll let him know that he is the father.
and
It's like a
Judge,
it's
I
like Maury
apologize.
Povich.
All right, everybody's
Yeah,
talking at
and
once. I can't hear any of you.
I apologize, Your Honor. I was relying on Mr. Outley, my St. Francis permanency specialist. He may not have known how to read that appropriately, and I didn't look at it when he told me. So I apologize. That's my fault.
Okay, we'll let him know. I'm surprised he didn't speak up.
Well, Antar Outley he may be in your waiting room. He's the permanency specialist, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm looking. I can't see that screen right now. I'm looking. Leslie, did you attach the results, or just tell me that?
I just had a result that said he was the father.
Okay.
But let me see if I can go in and verify that for you for sure.
Okay, just let me know.
Okay, thanks.
We don't have to. We'll tell him when he comes back. So Todd, I'll get Mr. Outley in for you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, looks like they're coming back to us, so we'll let Mr. Outley know we're checking that.
Would it be possible to have a breakout room with the attorneys?
Sure.
Sorry about that. I've talked to my client yesterday, but there's been new info since then.
Okay, well, let's see. I want to be sure she's back.
I told her how to get out, but you may have to bring her back.
Well, no,
Nope.
there she is. Miss Scott, can you hear me? You're muted. If you'd unmute, please.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Mr. Honeycutt, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think we gave you some bad news just a minute ago. Apparently, we're checking this right now. Apparently, you were not excluded as the father. You are the father, but we're gonna let you know that real quickly.
Okay.
So
Okay, thank you.
I apologize for that. That's could probably be some pretty shocking news, but
Okay,
Yeah,
that may change
Okay.
everything on our side.
yeah.
yeah, a lot, a
Right.
lot.
You
So.
still want me to
Just
talk-
everybody be quiet for a minute. We're checking. They're telling me they've seen the results, but I haven't seen them. We're waiting until somebody has eyes on the test results to show that he is the father. So we're going to take a minute and be sure we get that right before we go any farther.
Judge, I'm looking at the test results right now,
Okay.
and
I-
he is 99.99999% the father. So he is the father to this
All right,
child.
Mr. Honeycutt, did you hear that?
Oh, goodness, hang on. We just got to visitation. I'm so sorry. Give me just, here, listen.
Yes.
All right. Did you hear that, Mr. Honeycutt?
That I was the father?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes.
All right. So I'm gonna enter an order today that finds that legally you are the biological father of Wilder. So
Okay.
now, same thing I was telling Miss Scott, since you are the father, you have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, you have the right to ask the court to consider whether or not you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to ask for an attorney today?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you been given that paperwork to fill out?
I don't believe so.
Okay, then we'll have either someone from St. Francis or someone from the department. Y'all can tell me before we finish this hearing how to get you that information. Then you can either get it back to them and they'll get it to me, or you can get it to me by email, or you can bring it to my office in Amarillo, whatever you want to do. And I'll be sure you give me a good address and phone number. And if you have it, an email address, because if you qualify or you don't qualify, we'll notify you of that. If you do qualify, it'll be your responsibility to contact that lawyer to set up an appointment, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right. We got that out of the way. Mr. Alvey, I've got, is there anybody else you need in from the waiting room? I have a Galen Couts and an Ashley Warren.
Just Mr. Outley's telling us, Your Honor, that Miss Warren is the foster parent. I don't anticipate calling her as a witness.
Okay. I can let her know she can watch this on YouTube unless if no one objects, we can let her in to listen.
I don't have any objection to letting her listen, Your Honor.
Anybody have an objection?
No, sir.
No objection, Judge, but now that kind of changes my situation with my client. Would you mind if I have
Yeah.
a quick breakout room?
No, I can fully understand that.
Thank you.
We don't want to get something as trivial as whether or not he's the father or not get in the way of a quick hearing, do we?
No, we don't.
All right, Miss Scott, I'm going to put you back in a breakout room with your client so y'all can talk about the new news we just got.
Thank you. Working.
Buddy. What you doing, baby boy? Yeah. She doing.
Okay, we'll see y'all when you come back.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, looks like everybody's back. Mr. Alvey, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would call Mr. Antar Outley.
Okay. Mr. Outley, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to have to speak up.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Alvey.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Outley, you're a St. Francis Ministries Permanency Specialist.
Yes.
And in that capacity, you are familiar with Wilder Honeycutt?
Yes.
Where is Wilder currently placed?
He's placed with Ashley and David Warren in Panhandle, Texas, in a foster placement.
Oh,
And
I'm
is-
sorry, real quickly, I forgot to bring Miss Warren in. Miss Warren, this is Judge Graham. If you'd unmute.
I'm unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Miss Warren, I understand your placement for Wilder, is that correct?
I'm sorry, taking you off the YouTube video. Okay.
I said, they tell me you are placement for Wilder at this time, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to let you know, nobody objected to you coming into the hearing. You're not going to be called as a witness, but for future reference, if you're not a witness, you can watch this on my channel on the YouTube. It's Northern Panhandle Child Protection Court. So for future hearings, if you want to listen in, that's fine, but nobody objected, so I'm going to let you stay in today.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Galvey. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem, Judge. Mr. Atlee, how is Wilder doing in his current placement?
He's doing very well. He's eating well, sleeping well. His withdrawals, he's not experiencing those as much. He has ECI twice a week at the home. So everything is going well.
And so no special issues or special needs for this child have arisen?
No.
And Ms. Warren, who's the current placement's making sure that Wilder attends all of his medical appointments?
Yes.
And the child's mother is Miss Lacey Scott.
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to interact with Miss Scott and develop a service plan?
Yes, our service plan has been developed, but I haven't seen her this month. I made attempts in text, but I don't know if their phone is working, or I even stopped by the house a couple of times.
Okay, so you've not had an opportunity to sit down and discuss the service plan that you've prepared with her?
No.
Okay, and did you develop that service plan based upon the information you had from investigations and the history of this case?
Yes, sir.
And did you develop that service plan with that information strictly tailored for what you believe Ms. Scott needs?
Yes.
And you outlined the services that you put in that service plan in your court report?
Yes.
And then did you file the service plan with the court?
Yes.
Today, are you asking that the service plan that you've developed for Ms. Scott be approved and made an order of the court today?
Yes.
Michael Honeycutt has now been determined to be the father of Wilder Honeycutt. Have you been able to sit down with Mr. Honeycutt and develop a service plan?
No.
Did you develop a service plan for Mr. Mr. Honeycutt?
Yes.
And again, did you outline that service plan in your court report?
Yes.
And again, was the services you put in that service plan specifically tailored to Mr. Honeycutt based upon the information you had with from the case and from the investigations?
Yes.
Again, are you asking that that service plan for Mr. Honeycutt be approved by the court and made an order of the court today?
Yes.
Have Ms. Scott and Mr. Honeycutt been exercising visits with Wilder?
They missed like the last 3 or 4, but today they're there, so we're back on track.
But they've not been consistent in attending those visits up until this point in time?
Yes.
And as far as you know, they have not started any services because you haven't been in contact with them?
I know I talked to Mama, like I know she's done parenting at the pregnancy center there in Pampa at least twice so far. And I gave her, she did email me and I gave her some counseling places in Pampa because she was like suffering from postpartum. But I don't know how much she's done this month because I haven't got to talk to her.
You're going to make every effort to continue to reach out and schedule an appointment so that you can discuss the services in the service plan with Ms. Scott and Mr. Honeycutt?
Yes.
Owner's not gonna be in HD.
Or today, do you feel like there have been sufficient services completed to alleviate the reasons for this child to be removed from Ms. Scott and Mr. Honeycutt?
Could you repeat that again?
Yes. Do you believe that there have been sufficient services worked for Ms. Scott and Mr. Honeycutt have worked sufficient services to alleviate the reasons that Wilder was removed from them?
No, sir.
There's still some concerns about substance abuse.
Yes.
Have you been able to drug screen either Ms. Scott or Mr. Honeycutt since you've taken over the case?
No, sir.
Are you asking for a drug screen today?
Yes.
Are you asking for a hair follicle, a UA, or both?
Let's do both.
And as far as you know, Miss Scott and Mr. Honeycutt are in Pampa, so are you asking them to do that at the drug testing facility in Pampa?
Yes, sir.
What's the facility we're using now? I forget. Anybody?
What's it called?
Somebody's got to know where we're testing in Pampa. So
Is
can
it
somebody-
Prestige? Was it where you went?
Yes.
Prestige?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Alley.
Thank you, Your Honor. I was afraid to say that because I might be wrong. So, so do you believe that it would be unsafe to return Wilder to Miss Scott and Mr. Honeycutt today?
At this time, yes, sir.
And it would be contrary to his general welfare to do that?
Yes, sir.
We're still working towards family reunification as long as the parents continue to work services.
Yes.
So are you asking the court to continue the department as temporary managing conservator of this child?
Yes.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Outley, so you're telling me the parents haven't seen the service plans?
No.
Okay, do you have the service plans with you?
Yes.
Are both of them pretty much identical for
Yes.
mother? Okay. Can you just go down the list of things you're wanting them to do so they'll know what I'm about to order they do?
Okay. It's parenting, individual counseling, OSAR, monthly drug screens, and psychological.
Okay. Did y'all hear that, parents?
Yes, sir.
You may not know what an OSAR is, but that's a evaluation to see whether or not you need help for your drug problem. So that's what OSAR means. So, okay. All right then. Ms. Archer, questions?
I have no questions for Mr. Outley.
All right, thank you. Mr. Harris.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. All right then. Ms. Scott, I'm sorry, not Ms. Scott. Mr. Honeycutt, you don't have a lawyer, but do you have any questions for Mr. Outley today?
No, sir.
Okay. All right then. Mr. Outley, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, we'll rest.
All right, thank you. Ms. Archer, any witnesses?
Yes, I'd like to call my client,
Okay.
Lacey Scott.
All right. Ms. Scott, I'm not going to ask you to raise your right hand because I'm afraid you'll drop the baby, but do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Archer.
Miss Scott, have you had, do you have a phone?
I do not, but I will get one.
Okay, and has that been the problem in contacting, Mr.
Yeah.
Aguilar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but did you find a way to contact me yesterday?
Yes, I use Mr. Honeycutt's phone.
And did I review the service plan with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and are you on board with working all of those services?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and in fact, have you started any of those services?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what have you done so far?
I've started parenting classes. I've done an OSAR through ChildCustody. I also attend AA meetings. That's about it.
That's wonderful. And do you,
Am I supposed to start? I heard him say that I had to do a evaluation. Is it for psychosocial or is it a specific thing that I have to do or?
Yeah, Mr. Outley, if you'd unmute. Is it a psychosocial or psychological?
Psychological.
Okay. Does that
Okay.
answer your question, Ms. Scott?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ms. Archer.
and do you have transportation?
I do not, but Mr. Honeycutt is my transportation.
Okay. And are you aware that if you have any problems getting to any services, you need to let your caseworker know ahead of time?
Yes, ma'am. And they've also informed me that now that, we can do virtual visits if necessary, if I can't make them, or they can arrange transportation from St. Francis for me to make it back and forth.
And do you understand that if the judge orders these services today, they'll be in order of the court, so you'll have to follow through with them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you. Mr. Harris?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Honeycutt, do you have any questions for Ms. Scott?
No.
Right. Okay. All right, then, Ms. Archer, any other witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge.
Mr. Harris, any witnesses?
No witnesses, just a recommendation, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Honeycutt, do you want anything you need to tell me? Do you need to testify or do you understand what we're doing here today?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and you know what services, you've heard about the services and Ms. Scott has obviously talked about the services with her attorney. Are you on board to work those services also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, then, if no one has anything else, then Mr. Harris, recommendation?
Your Honor, I believe the current placement is safe and appropriate. I'm on board with putting the service plan into action for the parents, and hopefully they'll be able to exercise their visits because that little one needs both their mom and dad.
Yeah, okay, all right, thank you. All right, Ms. Talley, Casa, do you have anything to add?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. We're in
Okay.
agreement.
Okay. All right, then. Based on the testimony today and the results of the paternity test, I do find that Michael Honeycutt is in fact the biological father of Wilder Ryder Honeycutt, and I will establish that parent-child relationship today. I will continue the department as temporary manager conservator, continue Wilder's current placement. I'll order the services for each parent as contained in their service plans, and I will order both parents to both hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today at Prestige in Pampa. Did I understand that the parents, you'll have transportation to get there for the drug test today?
Yes.
Okay. If I need to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Outley, I can, but are you familiar with where Prestige is? Are y'all in Pampa?
We're in Panhandle right now, but yes, we're in
Okay.
Pampa.
Okay, so you can do you know where you're supposed to go?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. And I'm just going to warn you, it's because drugs are involved in this case. The drug tests are very important. If you test positive, that's fine because I know Ms. Scott, you have tested, and Mr. Honeycutt, I understand you admitted some drug use. We just wanted to get the reason for the hair strand test is to get a baseline to see where you're at so that when we test you next time, we'll know if it's going down, then you're not using. That's why we're doing these tests. So it's very important you do that, because if not, then I will order that if you don't drug test, then your visitation will be suspended until you do. So I just thought I'd tell you that in advance so we don't have to worry about that later.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, then. Our next hearing will be the initial permanency hearing. That will be on August 20th, 2025. That will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing. So parties can ask their attorneys, or you can go on the court's online docket to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing on August 20th. So All right, then, we will stand in recess on this case. I'll be back here just in a couple of minutes to call a Roberts County case. That's a status hearing on the Yates child. So we will be in recess. Mr. Outley, do you need to talk to the parents? I can put you all in a breakout room if you do. Okay, you're muted, but I think you were shaking your head no.
No, at this time, I do not.
Okay. All right, y'all stay in contact with each other. That's how these cases go a lot smoother if everybody's talking to each other. So,
Thank you.
okay. All right, we'll be in recess. Y'all have a good rest of your week and have a good weekend.
You
Bye-bye.
too, Your Honor. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Uh-huh.
Judge, may I be excused until my next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll see you back later. This is a permanency hearing on the Craddock child. Mr. Graff is with us for the department. Casa is with us. Ms. Rudd is with us representing Ms. Tennyson, the intervenor. Ms. Rudd, is Ms. Tennyson with us? She's not in my waiting room.
She is. She's on screen, or she was.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's under
Yeah.
your name. That's why I didn't recognize her. Okay, so Ms. Tennyson is also with us.
Yes.
Mr. Nowak is with us representing the father, Mr. Craddock, who I show is incarcerated. And Ms. Archer's with us representing the mother, Ms. Schechter, who is with us. Ms.
Judge.
Grant represents the child. She's not with us and she's not in my waiting room. This case was set for 10 o'clock. It's 10:11. We're going to proceed in her absence.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting, but Mr. Craddock has been released.
Okay. Is he-
In fact, he participated in a 6-hour mediation yesterday from his work site. He will not be here this morning, and it's not that he doesn't want to be here. He's just having technical issues, and it's probably on my end sending him the link.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Well, my understanding, I was given information that this case did settle at mediation. And then they gave me a date. Ms. Canada gave us a date that she was requesting the final be set. So we'll just be treating this as a permanency today. And with that having been said, Mr. Graff, who's your witness?
Do we have Ms. Campos available, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. She's the only one in the waiting room. Let me get her in.
Okay, great.
All right, Ms. Campos is with us. So is she your first witness?
She is, Your Honor, and what I would just suggest, since we have reached an agreement, if we could just have her give us an update to put on the record, and I can fill in any gaps, because she is new to the case.
Okay. My understanding is we're not going ahead with the final today because the placement needs time to get licensed. Is that a correct assumption?
She's been
You're-
licensed. My understanding, she needs a 6-month window out past June. Sorry, Ms. Rudd, I cut you off.
Okay.
And actually what we need is, we thought we needed out past June. Her license date was February 3rd. So we need the final hearing after August, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, after August 4th.
All right. Well, then
Okay.
I'm going to have to get a new date because the date I was given was July 23rd.
And we
Let
have
me
no
see.
objection to that, Your Honor. I just want to applaud the parents and Ms. Tennyson. Everyone worked really, really hard, 2 rounds of mediation. But I think we came to a result that everybody feels good about.
Well, that's great. I'm always happy to hear that. For the attorneys, just so you know, detail your time on that because if you spent that much time on it, then I want to be sure that we get you paid for it. So,
Thank you, Your Honor.
so I'm just looking at some other dates that Brittany gave me for other cases today. If we need to push it into August, we've got a docket on August 20th. Will that
That
work?
would be great.
Okay, that's
No objection.
okay. That's what we'll do then. All right, Mr. Graff, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Campos, if you would please, as the new social worker, just give the court an update on the status of the case.
Everything is going well. We came to an agreement yesterday between the parents and Barbara. From what I hear, Jacob's doing really well. I'm sorry, I don't know much. I just know I've been on here for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I don't have a lot of information. But I do want to say that I'm happy that we came to an agreement and that everybody's doing good. So I will continue to see Jacob for the next 6 months or however long, and we'll just go from there. Sorry.
Thank you.
Any
And
other
Judge-
questions?
Judge, I don't know if you've had a chance to review, because I don't know that we have all the signatures yet, but essentially what the agreement entails is permanent managing conservatorship with Ms. Tennyson, possessory rights with the parents. That includes some visitation, and somebody can correct me if I have some of this wrong, but and then some agreements in the event of Jacob's passing in terms of what final arrangements and things like that will be made. But the department and St. Francis are happy with the result and agree with it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Ms. Archer, do you have any questions?
No, Judge, I don't.
Mr. Nowak?
I don't have any questions, but I would like to recognize Jerry Glover. She did a great job yesterday with a
Outstanding.
difficult case. And just for the lawyers on here, the settlement agreement did not include visitation for my guy. I've already talked to Jerry. She said that was an oversight, so there'll likely be a new draft circulated. There'll be no surprises, though.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Judge.
Sounds good. Ms. Rudd, any questions?
Actually, Your Honor, no, I don't have any questions of this witness.
Okay. Ms. Grant is not with us, so Mr. Graft, anything else we need to do today?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge.
All right. Anybody else have any witnesses or anything that needs to be added? Ms. Rudd?
Your Honor, I was going to call Barbara and just let her tell everyone kind of how Jacob's doing.
Okay, sounds good.
Barbara, I guess you need to be sworn in.
Yeah, Ms. Tennyson, if you'd raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, thank you, Ms. Rudd.
Barbara, can you please tell the court just basically how Jacob's doing health-wise, how he's doing with visitations, and just so we know, because all we've heard is negative stuff, and it seems to me like he's doing pretty well. So I'd like you to fill the court in.
Yes, when he initially got home from the hospital, after being there for a month, he was completely shut down, wouldn't even open his eyes, wouldn't acknowledge anyone. And it took me about 6 weeks to get him out of his shell. And we were able to start therapy, and he has surprised all of us. Yesterday, he had a speech evaluation, and we were able to feed him a few bites of chocolate pudding, and he did amazing. We are so proud of him.
Sounds great.
I have no further questions. I just kind of wanted to let the court know that it's good. He's making progress, and
Yeah, that's great to hear.
He's doing very well.
Great. Okay, is anything else we need to take up today? No?
sir.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Somebody said something?
I would like to say something if I may.
Okay.
I just want to say this is my first coming to an end of a case as a CASA worker. I tell you, I saw the system work. I'm so proud of everybody. I don't know who said the right things, who broke through the layer of ice, whoever did whatever that made everybody come together. And I'm so proud of the parents. I'm so proud of Barbara. I cried. I cried yesterday. This was beautiful. So thank you.
That's great to hear. That's
It was God.
Yes,
It was God.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Well,
beautiful.
and I'll just say this is a great group of lawyers that were on this case. So
Yes.
that's very impressive to hear how well that went. So you're right. The system sometimes does work like it's supposed to. So.
It's great.
All right, then. Ms. Grant's not with us to make any recommendations, but I will just maintain the status quo. So I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the current placement. I will set the final for August 20th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties can talk to their attorneys, or all of you can go on the court's online docket a day or two before August 20th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. So thank you all for the hard work you put in yesterday, it sounds like, and thank all the parties for being willing to to do what's best for the child. That's really refreshing to hear when everybody puts their own wants and needs aside and does what they think's best for the child. So congratulations to all of you. Okay,
Thank
that
you.
will conclude this hearing. I will be back in about 10 minutes to call a Donnelly County case. That is a final hearing involving the Bernard, Chambers, Anderson, and Tate's children. So once again, thank you for all your hard work yesterday, and we will stand in recess. Y'all have a good rest of your week and a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your
Can
Honor.
you guys hear me?
I'm sorry, what?
I was, I completely forgot during mediation to mention one thing, that if, in the event something, God forbid, happened to Barbara, that the parents have the first right to obtain the custody of Boogie, or Jacob, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, that's, I mean, what you all settled at mediation is settled. I can't change it, so.
And that's Texas law, Judge. I mean, they're possessory conservators. They
Okay.
still have their rights.
All right. Okay. All right. We'll see y'all back on August 20th.
Great.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, may I be
Thank you,
excused?
Judge.
Yes, you may. You can all be excused that aren't in my next hearing.
Thank
Natalie
you.
asked my question. Thank you, Judge.
Okay,
You have a
all
great
right.
week.
Have a good day.
You too. This is in the interest of the Tates, Bernard, Chambers, and Anderson children. This was set for a final hearing today. However, I did receive an unopposed motion to retain the case on the court's docket, filed by Mr. Graff on behalf of the department. Is that correct, Mr. Graff? Everybody's in agreement to extend the case?
That is, Your Honor. The mother has made a good faith effort, and I believe she completed her last evaluation earlier this week. We're just waiting on the results of that. So based on those circumstances, we felt it appropriate to request an extension. As far as I
Okay.
know, everyone's in agreement.
And is that correct? No one opposes that? Okay. All right, then I will grant the department's motion to extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. Mr. Graff is with us for the department. Casa is with us. Ms. Grant is with us representing the children. Ms. Stevens is with us. I got a bunch of names here. Give me, Ms. Stevens is with us representing one of the fathers, Mr. Anderson. He is not with us. Ms. Seal is with us. She represents the mother, Ms. Yarbrough, who is with us. Mr. Anho is with us. She represents one of the fathers, Mr. Bernard Jr., who is not with us. Ms. Mullinax is with us. She represents one of the fathers, Mr. Chambers, who I show is incarcerated, but he's not with us at any rate. And let's see, Ms. Lucero is with us. She represents one of the fathers, Mr. Tates, who is not with us. I think I've covered everybody that's involved. I don't have anyone in the waiting room.
And Judge, it's Erin Molinax. I just wanted to note for the record that Mr. Chambers did request to be present. However, the prison now has a new rule that you have to get the order to appear from the court, and it has to be done 14 days ahead of time or they're not honoring it.
Okay, good to know.
He was, yeah, so he said that if I couldn't get him on here, that he was okay with that. So I just wanted I did talk to him.
All right, thank you. I'm glad you let me know that. We'll probably send an email to all of our attorneys telling them they've got to get those orders in 14 days. Thanks for telling us that, Aaron. Ms. Grant, we missed you in our Craddock hearing a minute ago.
Yes, Your Honor, I had a plea going. I hated to miss it. We did a 6-hour mediation yesterday and worked very hard on that,
Yeah,
but
that's what I
Jacob got everything he needed and then some, Your Honor.
That's what I heard. Congratulations on that. I really appreciate how well that went.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm very proud of that case. We worked so hard.
Okay, then, Mr. Graff, your witness.
Ms. Campos, please, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Campos, you testified earlier, didn't you? Today?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
you're still under oath.
She
So
did testify, but she wasn't sworn.
Oh, you weren't sworn. Okay, Ms. Campos, raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Mr. Graff.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Campos, are you the current caseworker in this matter?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, and how long have you been assigned?
I've been assigned since September September, October, somewhere around in there. I don't know the exact date, but somewhere around there.
Okay. And at this point in time, are there any outstanding paternity or service issues, or have they been all resolved?
They've been all resolved, I believe.
Okay. And at this point in time, I realize the children are placed in a number of placements and mom has moved. Are you ready to recommend an in-home placement at this time?
No, sir.
Okay. And are any of the children placed with a relative or designated caregiver?
No, sir.
Okay. And so what is outstanding for the mother before you would be in a position to recommend a return home?
She just had to complete her psychiatric evaluation, which she completed on the 28th. I just have to wait for them to get it to me so we can see what the recommendations are and then go from there. And then I would be looking into to placing the kids back home with her.
Okay. And have any of the children been asked about possible placement options?
The children have not been asked. I have spoke with Inari in Malaysia about speaking or about going with their aunt. And they've told me that they
Non-responsive.
Sustain.
Okay. Have the parents or any other family members identified any potential placements if the children cannot be returned home?
Yes, there have been.
Okay. And are there any concerns about placing with those relatives? Or is the plan at this point to be looking at mom as the primary placement once you get the results of the psychiatric evaluation?
The plan is to place them back at home with their mother.
Okay. And then any of the children placed in an RTC or QRTP?
No, not at this time.
Okay. And at this time, is there a continuing necessity for placement, and is it appropriate in the children's best interest?
Yes, to stay where they are.
Okay. And are any of the children, well, at this point in time, yeah, are the children receiving any psychotropic meds?
And sorry. The two youngest girls are receiving ADHD medication. And that's it, nobody else.
Okay. When was the last medication review for them? For the two
Their last medication review was in March.
Yeah, how often are those scheduled, those reviews?
They're every 30 days.
Okay, so do we have another one pending?
Yeah, there should be one coming up because they refill every 30 days. So they have to make sure the medication's working. So yes, sir.
Okay. Are there any other plans or services needed that haven't already been court ordered to meet the children's needs or for the mother to be able to work towards reunification?
No, sir.
Okay. And then what are the parents' compliance with the temporary orders?
Mom is in compliance with the order. Neither of the fathers are in compliance with the orders.
Okay. And is the mother making progress?
Yes, she is.
Okay. And how are the kiddos doing?
The kiddos are doing very well. Markel, he is probably done with baseball season now. He's been very active in the community, doing all kinds of things. He is planning on working at the school in the summertime. They're in Clarendon. Inari and Malaysia are doing very well. They were playing softball. They're very active in school functions. They both been very busy as well. The two youngest girls are doing better now that they are on ADHD medication. There has been a decrease in some behaviors. So everybody's doing well.
Okay. And then as far as the need for any additional services as to the mother, it sounds like the answer to that question is no, pending the psychiatric evaluation. There may be some recommendations from that.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, and are you asking the court to adopt any recommendations from that evaluation as part of the court order?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right now, do you have a likely date by which any of the children may be returned home, adopted, or placed in a permanent managing conservatorship?
I do not have a date yet. No, sir.
Okay, but right now, return home is to the mother's care is the primary plan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and is there an alternative plan?
There would be if recommendations from the psychiatric evaluation are not achieved, or anything, she loses housing or anything such to that nature, then we would have to look at something else.
Okay, but that's not the plan as of now.
No, sir.
All right. Is Mark, I know Mark Keel is over 14, or is any of the other children over 14?
Malaysia is not Malaysia. I apologize. Anari is 14.
Okay. Do any of them have any needs that might be required for a transition to independent living if reunification is unsuccessful?
Yes,
Sorry.
if
Go ahead.
sorry. Yes, if it's unsuccessful, yes.
Okay. And then Mark Keel, does he have copies of his personal documents?
I actually have those personal documents. I have not given them to him yet.
Okay. And what reasonable efforts have you made to finalize the permanency plan up to this point?
I have been in contact with mom. She actually has a courtesy worker that meets with her every month now that has helped her get services started and stuff like that. We've been in contact. I have spoken with Mr. Anderson before the last hearing. Actually, he spoke with my last supervisor before the last hearing. But we have not had any contact with Mr. Anderson after that. I've tried to send him paperwork to the address and it came back.
Okay.
I've also talked to Mr. Tates a couple months ago, probably. He said that he would get me information on a relative. I have not heard from him since then. Mr. Bernard, he does see the courtesy worker every month. I have tried to get him started on parenting classes through our Fatherhood Fire program. They had been unable to contact him. I did get a new number recently within the last day or so, and submitted it to them. And I'm unsure if they've been able to get a hold of him. But he has not started any services either. And as well as Mr. Chambers is incarcerated.
Okay. At this time, should DFPS continue to have TMC of the child?
Yes.
And all of the children?
Yes.
Okay, and why is that?
To give mom time to do any services that are recommended from the psychiatric evaluation, and to be able to maintain that, and that's what we're waiting on. That's it.
Okay. And that's the basis for requesting the extension as well, is it not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Pass the witness.
All right. Ms. Campos, would it be a continuing danger to the physical health and safety of the children to be returned to any of the parents today?
Yes, sir.
Would it be contrary to the children's welfare to be returned to any of the parents today?
Yes, sir.
All right. You said that neither of the fathers were in compliance, which would, just so the record's clear, that would indicate there's 2 fathers, but in fact, we have 4 fathers and none of them are in compliance. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, sir.
All right. And as far as Mr. Graff asked you if there's any recommendations from mom's psychiatric evaluation, ask the court to adopt them as orders of the court, which I'm happy to do, but everyone needs to understand that Court of Appeals says doesn't work. You have to actually enter an order for any additional services. We can't do it by just saying I'm ordering any services that the psychiatric evaluation recommends. So just to be sure we're all clear on that. Okay, Ms. Seal, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Stevens.
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Naranjo,
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Mullinax,
No questions.
Ms. Lucero.
Questions.
All right. Let's see if I can, Ms. Grant.
Ms. Campos, are you still supervising visitation with the mom?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Is there any time frame or person identified to take over therapy for these kiddos?
I actually have reached out to Claudia Costanda. She is a therapist. I'm just waiting to hear back from our provider relations to see if she is a part of our service providers, and that way we can move forward with that.
And are we, do you agree if I say that the family therapy with the 2 youngest children, because of their age, needs to be moved to in-person therapy?
I do agree. I think it would be in the best interest. Yes, ma'am.
Was that the recommendation of the last therapist prior to his removal from the case?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's okay if you don't know. And as far as transportation, do you know if Ms. Yarborough has obtained transportation where she can attend in-person visits should the court order those to be done in that way?
Yes, ma'am. I do believe she has a car.
Okay, and she's residing in Wichita Falls, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and if those how are the visits going now with mom since the other therapist has left and you're supervising?
So the visits have been going better. I have seen some progress. I know that Akaya still has a lot of hesitation. She has done a little better since I've taken over, but she still has some resistance on joining visits. I'm not 100% sure what the resistance is, but she just doesn't want to be on there.
Have we gotten any resolution with the behavior of the children after visits and acting out that we've been experiencing?
I do believe that those have somewhat resolved. I did receive a message from Cartha about the acting out after this last visit. I was not on this last visit, but I believe we're working on those with the therapist that they see.
Okay, and has mom come more into compliance with her interactions with the children at visits with not encouraging them to have bad behavior?
Yes, ma'am, she has.
Okay. So as long as mom continues on that better path, are you okay with visitation continuing?
I am okay with visitation continuing.
Okay. Pass the witness, Judge.
Okay. Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Campos?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Campos, the report I read said that both Markeel and Akaya do not want to go home to mother. Is that still the case?
Markel definitely is not wanting to go back. He wants to stay in Clarendon. I have not asked Akaya in my last visit. I will be asking her this month, but it is my understanding that she does not want to go home either.
Well, in the report, it said that Akaya said she doesn't want to visit mother because she's afraid of mother. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, sir.
So do you believe it'd be best, rather than make her go, to follow Akaya's therapist recommendations as far as visitation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. Mr. Graff, anything else from the department?
I just had one follow-up question based on Your Honor's questioning. If I may, Judge, Ms. Campos, is there an impending disruption to Markel's placement?
There is the placement that Markel is currently at, are only wanting to keep him through the end of the school year. I have asked them to give me a a person in Clarendon that would be willing to take Markel in. I'm just waiting for that information to be given to me. There is somebody that will take him in.
And that is not due to anything Markel has done. It's due to a potential job relocation. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Nothing further. As the witness.
Markel's made it very clear that he wants to stay in Clarendon until he graduates. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, good. So let's keep looking for another place for him.
And Judge, I'll just note for the record, we had a recent mediation session, but the parties agreed to reschedule that once we have an extension date. Some of these issues we will likely be addressing in mediation.
Okay. All right, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right, if nothing further from the department, then Ms. Seal, did you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Stevens?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Naranjo?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Mullinax?
Your Honor, I have no witnesses. However, Mr. Chambers did want me to inform the court that with regard to Anari in Malaysia, he wants them to be returned to their mom because he thinks that that the kids are very well taken care of by mom and that that's in their best interest.
Okay, all right, thank you. Ms. Lucero, any witnesses?
Your Honor, I don't have any witnesses. I just want to let the court know that I have reached out to Mr. Tates. I've had very limited contact with him over the last few months, but I'll continue to make efforts.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Grant, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then Ms. Grant, recommendations?
Your Honor, I'm very hopeful that we find some place for Markel in Clarendon. He is extremely successful in his sports. His grades are coming up and he's doing very, very well. He loves his mom, but he asks that you know that he wants to stay where he is and that he does not want to move anywhere at this time. The two younger children, they're struggling, Judge. They don't want to go to visitation. They come out of visitation very upset sometimes. And so I'm hopeful we can get this new therapist on board quickly. The last therapist is no longer working for the department in any capacity. But I would just recommend that placements continue as is, that the court ordered that the visitations for the two youngest be at the therapist's recommendations, and that Markel not be moved without further order of the court unless we get into just a situation, Judge, where we just don't have anywhere for him to go. And then I adore Markel, and I'll probably just get in the car and drive him to school myself, Judge.
Okay. All right. All right, Casa, anything to add?
Your Honor, we think it might be in the best interest of the two younger girls to do family therapy with Miss Yarborough.
Okay. Good idea. All right, give me just a minute here.
And Judge, that family therapy is what is recommended to be in person. I should have made that clear.
Okay. Ms. Grant, do you want the two youngest to have in-person individual counseling and family counseling?
I believe that we already arranged for their individual counseling to be in person, Judge. It's the family therapy that I was making sure the mother had transportation to be at because it needs to be in person with her.
Okay.
There has to be a way for the therapist to be present enough to intervene if things don't go well and help direct the family.
Okay.
And these kids are too little to do virtual. You can't keep their attention for what's needed.
All right. Okay. And I have to ask this every hearing, as far as the Bernard child, how do you pronounce her first name? Anybody?
Jamise.
Jamise. Okay. I have to ask that every time. Okay, then I will first of all, as I said, I've granted the motion to extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue the current placements. I'll order, I'm just because from reading the reports and from what I've heard, I'm just going to order that all of the children's visits with mother will be as recommended by each child's individual counselor. And then I will order that Akaya and Jamise have in-person family therapy with mother. Okay, I'll set our next permanency hearing for August 20th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties can ask their attorneys or go on the court's online docket to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing on August 20th. All right, this was our last hearing for the day, so we will stand in recess. Everybody have a good rest of your week and have a good weekend.
You too, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge.
Thank you,
y'all.
Judge.
Uh-huh. Amy, I'll see you Friday.
Yep. See you then.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thanks.